This one makes use of this lovely dye, this gorgeous fishing net dye as a background to, again, this comes from the Underwater World collection. I don't have any of the others to show you, but this is the 3D push-outs from that collection. A lot of these, the Amy Designs, Janine's Crafts, generally have these 3D push-outs that come with it. They're usually 3 on a page. So this one with the dolphins is the one I've already used. I've got one already made up with the whales, which is the one we're going to use on the card I'm making. And then this one, we are going to just have a quick look at how to make them up. Me thinking I was all ready and I wasn't. How easy these are to make up. So they come, as I said, on the sheet you get 3, and they come numbered. And it might not be easy to see on the camera, but they are different colour numbers. I've made that mistake in the past of popping out the wrong thing. But so this one, 1, 2, 3, 4 in blue. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4 in green, and 1, 2, 3, 4 in sort of a red. So I find the easiest way to do this is on an old mouse map with a ball tool, the biggest one that you can get, and literally just rubbing over the back. Okay, and the pieces come out. So we know that's piece number 4. And if I'm going to be a bit fussy, find my little scissors and just cut that little bit off. Generally they come out. Sometimes they don't come out completely. Got a little notch on that one. And if that happens, then we can just help that with a pair of scissors. But most of the times, give them enough, they'll come out. We'll have another go at that one on the front. That's this one. Let's keep those in order. So I'm a piece there, and then there's our main. So I'm going to just turn it over those few little bits that got caught and see if having a go this side will help. Yeah, that one's come out. Where was this one caught? Where's he caught? He's caught on this fine bit. Don't pull too hard because these are on decoupage weight paper and not sort of cardstock way that you get some die cut toppers. So just be a little bit careful with what you are doing. I've got a little visitor here. You might not be able to see. You might be able to hear her. That's Sally. She's just come to see if I've got any treats, but she's going to have to wait. Oh, put that in the bin. Right, okay, so we have our main image there. This one's got some little bits in there. So I'm laughing because I can hear her running back up the stairs, empty-handed. There we go. Let's have another go at that one. Tiny little bit, and I don't want to end up ripping anything. Taking that out. There we go. So there's our pieces. And with decoupage like this, I always tend to use 3D glue gel. So I am just going to give these a little bit of shape with my fingers. And if you forget which order, you can usually tell by the size. So this one's the full image. This one's got a little bit here missing. This one's got more here missing, and this one's just the shark on its own. So let's grab my little glue gel, and the syringe is always useful for decoupage things like this because you can get into the long bits. You can use foam pads. I just find the fuss of cutting them all, taking all the backs off. The advantage to them is that you don't have to wait for the drying time. That is the disadvantage with this, which is why I always have one. Whoops! Whenever I'm using these little push outs, I always have one ready, made up and dried, because they do take a little while. Obviously, the glue gel takes a little while to dry. But you know, each to their own, whichever you prefer. There we go. So there's our little shark image, all decoupaged up, ready for another project. If I was to do it with this project, I would probably turn, not probably, I would have to turn my oval base round to accommodate him. But there he is. So let's move him away and he will dry for use for another day. And we are going to make our background before we do our die cut, because this will need to have a little time to dry. So to make my background, I kind of went for blues, and I added a bit of purple, and this image, this whale image, is the same, so I've gone for the same color combination. Now what I've got is the sprays. I've got iced spruce, and I've got faded jeans, and I have wilted violet, which gives us the purpley colour. So let's move those away. And with oxides, there are ball bearings in there. If I can, there you go. Start to move now. I've taken my hand away from the table. They recommend that you shake them side to side like this. If you are an up and down shaker, then what you will need to do, other side, is get a piece of tissue or something, remove the lid and put something over the nozzle, because as you can see, you then get some ink coming out of the nozzle. So if you just shake it up and down now, you'd end up with it all in the cap. So I'm just lining those up, because weird thing, the bottles all look the same, the caps all look the same until you try and put them back on, and then you'll find that they're not all the same. And then you have to play sort of like one of those little puzzle games. So I'm going to start with the iced spruce for the majority of the background. That gives a nice sort of covering. Okay, is that one? Yes. And then I'm going to add my blue. Get my ball bearing going there. The blue with the faded jeans, and then I'm going to use the wilted violet for the purpley effect. I feel like something's wet. Maybe it's just me. Now this one, I'm not pressing so hard to get a fine mist. I'm trying to do that kind of like, I want more of a blib. Blib? That's not even a word. Blib. What am I on about? You know, more sort of blotty. Now I can see I've managed to spray just about everywhere on the whole of my surface. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give that a little quick blast with the heat gun. And then I think what I'll do is I'll put it to one side so it can have a bit of time to dry while we do the die cutting. So I'm just going to put it down on the floor. I'll pick it up again in a minute. I'm going to use it. And then I'm just going to clean off my board and everything else that I've managed to spray with a bit of water and some rice paper. Ooh, I made a right old mess today. I'm not stuff I've sprayed there. Whoa, yes. But I'm just spreading the mess rather than cleaning it up. I seem to be spreading it. Let me get another piece. Let's see if we can do a better job rather than just spreading it from one place to the next. Oh, yeah. It's a good job no one else works in this space. They despair of me. I can see a bit more there. Right, okie dokie. What a mess, what a mess. Right, so while that's drying, and we can always heat blast it again in a minute, we are going to cut. Look at that. Right from the word go, I'm covered in ink. But hey ho, that is the way it goes. I am just going to dry that off, make sure I'm not putting my clean card down on wet things. It's all going to go downhill from, as soon as I've got that on my hand, it's like, never mind. So this card is Creative Expressions. It's pearl card, and I'm pretty sure it's called Steel. Nice sort of silvery colour for our net. So I need some tape to tape this down. Now, this die, let me just turn it back over for you. There are loads and loads and loads and loads of little bits to cut. So it may be that you will need to cut it through, turn it 90 degrees and cut it through again. It does depend on what you're cutting. One of the things that I will be cutting later is slightly thicker. So it's a case of try it and see. So let's get that through. This die is great for these kinds of cards, but it's also, as soon as I saw it, it was like, oh, that's a mixed media die. It's a texture, it's a background texture. So it's one of those ones that you want to experiment with what it will cut, because I think if you can cut some flexible things with it, it will go round. And so here we go, look, that's cut pretty well. Also nice and messy. Just bear with me. I'm going to try, because I'm going to end up totally static. I usually do. So everything is going to end up sticking to me or flying everywhere. Right. Not too bad, not too bad. So that's cleaned off the board. Now let's get my brush and clean the die. Get some more of it out. I will admit, when I was doing my prep, I do have a box full of these little bits. I will make a shaker card one day, and I will put all the bits in it. But it's just like, oh, I do like lots of little pretty sparkly, silvery, shimmery things. So we kept them in a box. Right. So let's take this off the die. And I'm going to make sure I clean this die, because I'm going to be using it several times during this afternoon, and I really don't want to cause it not to cut properly just by not cleaning it. To be honest with you, most of it comes out anyway. It would be really quite soul destroying, I think, if you had to sit and poke through a ton of these little bits, but one or two you don't mind. Right, so that's that cut. I am going to throw these away. But they are the sort of things that would be great in a shaker card. So we have this cut. A few in here. And we have our little 3D push out. We've got, what did I say? We've got the whale for this particular card. I've got my whale here, and I've got my ovals. I kind of mix and match from lots of different sets, just so that I could get a nice effect. So we'll layer those up, but we'll do that now. Give the background a little bit more time to dry. Oops, two. That's some navy colour for my stash. That's the grey, the silver, sorry. Again, the steel pearl card that we've cut the fishing net from. And this is just white stamping card. And then, ooh, best to put glue on the thing rather than on you. So that's going to sit there. Okay, so that's our little mount. We can also get our sentiment ready while we give our little background still a little bit more time to dry. Now what I've done is I have used, if I find it, the Trim Crafts first edition bunting alphabet set for this, and I've already gone ahead and cut all my letters, and I've also sort of mounted them together just for quickness. So we've got for you. Now I need my I need a piece of paper to blot on. I need my tweezers. That's where the glue. Where's that glue come from? Who knows? Stuff that's on the craft mat could have come from anywhere. Right, so I'm going to put, no we're not. I'm going to start with the O's so that we get this central. Hold the tweezers in one hand and then hold the letter in another. How silly. Come on, let's focus. Right, so I'm going to put the O on there and then the other O directly underneath. That way I can make sure my words are lined up. Okay. Right, and then we can do the other letters around. A bit of a... Oh, that was nearly U4. I'm sure it would make sense to somebody, but I won't for you. Oh. And the Y and the U for our sentiment. And then we'll go and have a look at our... I might actually go straight this time with the U. A bit different. I seem to have a lot of residual glue on my tweezers. I think I'm going to need to have a bit of a clean up of those before our next live. There we go. So there's my little sentiment plaque ready. Let's move my gluey thing out of the way and my pin. Okay, so let's get our ink back. Okay, so it's getting there. And in fact, what I think I might do, rather than heat drying it, I might just blot it. Ooh, quite like that. With a little bit of a different effect. It almost makes the purple stand out more, sort of more pushed in to the blue rather than sitting on top of it. Excellent. Like that. And then I'm just going to give one little blast because I'm gonna ink round the edges with the faded jeans pad. We'll just give it a little bit of a heat blast. And you may have noticed the other advantage of allowing it to dry naturally is actually that is way flatter than if I had blasted that with a lot of heat. It would have buckled and warped because I'm sort of pushing the or forcing the water content out of both the ink and the card sort of quicker than you would naturally do so. So all I'm going to do, I just want to sort of make the edges look more blue, get rid of any little white bits around the edge. So I'm just using the faded jeans, which is the same as one of the sprays that I used, with a little ink brush here to just add it to the edge. Also tones in quite well because we've got the dark bluey black of that whale in our image. Okay. I'm trying not to get inky, but I don't know why. I think every project is inky or painty today, so I don't know why I'm fighting it. I might just as well go with it. Be completely blue today. Last time we were very yellow, weren't we? We were doing lots of bees. Right, let's put that to one side. That to one side and just clear up. Get that bit of rice paper back. Okay. And I'm just gonna make sure there's no more moisture left. Piece of paper towel. Just try and prevent as much sort of contamination as I can. Sometimes it's a futile effort, but you know, I try. So I have my blue background. You can see when I was doing this, it's like, how am I getting all these smears? I'd managed to squash my my decoupage on something or with something, and then the glue was just passing from one bit of card to another. I thought, you know what, it doesn't matter because it's going to be covered anyway, so we can still go ahead and use it. So we are going to put I am, it's only me, I'm not royal, I'm not a royal we. So I'm going to put the this is more of that steel pearlized card from Creative Expressions down there. And then the white, I don't know whether I cut this to size. That would have been a good thing to check first, wouldn't it? Before I ink the edges. So let's stick this down. It was me just presuming I'd been organised and cut my card to size, but no, apparently not. So let's put that down, and then we're going to have to do a little bit of a ink everywhere. Right, I am just going to, excuse me, I don't know why, because I'm about to do more inky things. Try and get a little bit of ink off my hands before I contaminate absolutely everything. Yeah, I managed to get it there. Oh dear. Never mind. Right. So we are going to place this down. This is where I'm like, which bit would I like? I think I'm going to go around that way. So I'm just with my pencil, I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm just going to put a mark there and a mark there, and then I'm going to have to get my ink out again, but not to worry. There's me right for presuming that I was organised. A very big presumption to make. That's off there. Off there. I'm not going to re-ink the brush because I'm pretty sure I've got enough ink left. Maybe not. Let's get it out. Let's get messy again. More ink. Why not? Just after you've cleaned up. There we go. That's better. And I'll have forgotten which way round I did this. So yeah. I feel it's, this is the way the afternoon is going. It's going to be one of those, eesh, sheesh, what's she doing? Kind of afternoons. Right, let's try and clean up again. Bit of a dry. See, look, even when I think I've cleared up, I haven't. Right. So there's my card. No, I kind of think I went that way, didn't I? Yes, that'll do. Get some glue on it. And then that goes on there. And I'm going to get a piece of paper so that I can go over that and hopefully not get, see, look, inky. Shows it's not quite dry. Not to worry. I need to stop saying that. Not to worry. So this is our die, and it is quite intricate, and there's no reason why I can't put dab some glue on it. But I'm gonna be a little bit not cheap, but I'm going to. She said, "Excuse me, I just need to grab something." I am going to use a spray glue instead. It just makes things a little bit quicker. So, wrong way, and oh, there we go. Put it somewhere safe. Right, so this is Stick and Stay from Crafter's Companion, but there are other brands of spray glue. Just short, sharp bursts, and then it needs about 30 seconds to just sort itself out. So we're going to just take that out for a moment. And I'm just going to find that for my glue. There. Right, okay. Not quite 30 seconds, but it will do. And I'm going to angle this as near as I can, sort of getting the corners of the die towards the edge of the paper. Okay, and then I'm going to just go over the top of that. And you can see by using the spray glue, I've got really great adhesion there, and no sort of squeeze through of the glue. Right, so there is our sentiment and our yeah, topper. That's the one. Goodness me. Right, I am going to use deglue gel. I am not decoupaging this. I'm just literally going to use it to a little bit of adhesion on the back, purely because I need it out. This, which I am going to right, I'm not going to put that on straight away, and I'll tell you why. I am going to. I was looking for something to embellish this card with, and I was like, oh, I don't really want, big things. I don't want a bow with it. So I had a rummage and I came up with these. I have all sorts of weird stuff in my drawers at home, and I have all sorts of different seed beads. So these are, I don't know why, because I've never made jewellery, but they just seemed like a good idea at the time. So these are what I've used. And I've used 3D glue gel to stick them on. Now, if I stick this on first with 3D glue gel and then do the beads, when I roll the thing around, they're all going to go underneath and stick to it. So we're going to leave that off for now. And I am going to, I'm going to put literally some blobs of just random, no rhyme or reason, wherever, some big, some small, whatever you fancy. Some on the page, also on the net, and some off, little bits, bigger bits, just random. So now, this is something I learned at home. Don't just do this on your desk, which is what I did, because when you shake them, they go. So I have got this little tray. It must have been out of something, and probably some sort of chocolates. And I thought, oh, that'd be a good thing to keep hold of. And now I know why it was a good thing to keep hold of. So I am literally going to pour on some beads. So you pour up way more than you need. And then just give them a pat. And where you've got your glue gel, they will stick into it. I can see there's some there. That's why I'm pushing them there, because there's some glue gel there. And then big one there. We don't want that big bead. Ooh, there we go. It started already. Look, can't even keep them in the container. Goodness me. Right, so did we get all the bits? No, there's a bit there. So I'm just going to grab a few. I'm just going to pour a few more on there. And push down and then off. So you can see wherever I put the glue gel, they've stuck. And then I've got to do the same up here. So it's a case of just pour, load over. I still can't do it. I need a desk size tidy tray. And then I'm just going to go over and press down. Off we come. There we go. So we will leave all of those in the tidy tray and I can tidy that later. At least they're not all over the desk. So there you go. You can see now that I have, and I've been a bit more heavy-handed with the glue than I was at home. You see I've got bigger clusters, but I quite like that. So the last thing to do then is to put the sentiment on again with 3D glue gel. So you can see that if I had put this on before and I'd been kind of with my beads, a lot of them would have gone underneath the sentiment and stuck to the glue under there, which would have been a complete waste of my beads. So there is our first card. We used the Underwater World Amy Design 3D pushouts. We have used the Amy Design Maritime Fishing Net and lots of lovely Distress Oxide sprays. We have Wilted Violet, Ice Spruce and Faded Jeans, and then a little bit of the Faded Jeans ink as well.